Hi, my name is Kayla Thompson and I am in Group 4, and we're going to begin with looking at Leopold's reading. We're going to look at his reading and how he talks about nature and his deep-found appreciation of nature in his environmental surroundings. And it kind of shows us that he sees nature as a resource, and it's a resource that we are taking for granted. We're not appreciating the smaller things that are around us and putting too much emphasis on kind of the mainstream American lifestyle, a little more busy lifestyle, and not understanding where things are coming from, how they operate. And I think what really relates to the sustainability is the fact that we are not aware. We're not aware even of the things that we aren't aware of. We don't understand the things that we're doing to destroy the planet. We don't understand the things that we could possibly do to fix that. We don't understand the necessity of doing things to fix that. We're just not aware of issues and how those issues are affecting us and how we can overcome those issues. So I think that Leopold's reading really shows us that we need to be aware. We need to appreciate things because they might not always be there. We need to be in touch with our surroundings and just kind of have a greater appreciation overall of the things that we have. And so moving on to the title of that reading, it is called Why Being Bad is No Good. And I think that what that title is saying is that we should really want to do the best that we can. We shouldn't be satisfied with just doing a better job. We should aim to, like I said, do the best that we can. We should not want to fall short of that. We should not be okay with falling short of that. And in doing the best that we can, we should understand the value of not just our planet and the people that occupy it, but also the value of the future. Understanding that the things that we do have an impact on the future, and our goal should be to create a sustainable solution, one that can carry on into the future. Moving on to question 2, we're going to look at Agamemnon's reading, and he talks about the core characteristics of a sustainable community. So what I've taken from that reading is that these core characteristics is that the community would understand the need to ensure a better life for current and future generations and have a strong sense of reciprocal obligation amongst their members. Their focus is on quality and quantity of empowerment of members, and they have a willingness to mobilize citizens and government. They value diversity and cultural identity and see assets rather than deficits in their community. They have a focus on the cause of an issue and have an equitable and value-based economic vitality for ecological integrity, civic democracy, and social well-being, and they acknowledge all aspects of sustainability, including politics, injustices, and inequality, as well as science and environment. They have an emphasis on the process of deliberative and democratic civic reward and enhanced civic engagement. And lastly, they have ability to preserve and support the environment, as well as the ability to meet social and economic needs of residents. So I think that looking at these characteristics, we should all strive to have these characteristics. We should want to be a sustainable community. We should look again at the future. We should want our impacts to have positive impacts on the future. So that should be a goal of ours. And moving into the last part of this question, looking at the businesses that are brought up in McDonough and Braunot's reading. One of the corporations that he speaks of, Henry Ford, is mentioned. It says that he had a lean and clean operating policy. He reduced waste and set new standards with time and saving of the assembly line. And he was able to get the most out of his power, material, and time. So I think that he was really one of the core corporations mentioned in this reading that can bring up the possibilities of sustainability. And obviously he did have wealth as a result of this. He was having monetary benefits, but in the process he was able to create some sustainable solutions, showing that both are possible. Obviously the automobile industry has kind of taken a different turn with that. What he may have seen starting out, not realizing that it was even sustainable, but it has now kind of moved into a different mindset with that. Another business that was mentioned, the United Nations World Commission of Environment and Development, and they moved toward efficient resource use. They generated less pollution and waste. They were based on the use of renewable resources to minimize irreversible impacts on the health of the environment. And then they also mentioned the Business Councils for Sustainable Development, which coined the term of eco-efficiency, which has carried on into the future. So I think that all of these are things that we can look at in terms of a building block for where we can go with this, and hopefully in the future we can move towards overall being more sustainable.